Weight loss isn't just about reducing pounds. It's about living a happy, active life. Losing weight may seem easy, but staying consistent on your weight loss journey is the real challenge. But fear not, as today, we'll explore Dr. Barbara O'Neill's practical, guaranteed strategies for effective weight loss, which you can do as part of your daily routine tasks. Keeping a healthy weight can feel like balancing task, and calories play a big role. The basic idea of weight loss is simple. Burn more calories than you take in. This can be done by eating fewer calories and moving your body more. But honestly, it's frustrating to follow a diet, battle hunger, and feel cranky all day, only to see little to no results. One big reason is the food we eat. Have you ever noticed how much of our diet is packed with carbohydrates? Think about it. How often do you start your day with a bowl of cereal or a slice of bread? And then, by mid-morning, you're reaching for something else like a muffin, a donut, or maybe even a pastry. Not to mention, there's also pasta, rice, potatoes, and other carb-heavy foods that fill our plates, as said by Dr. Barbara.
So bread is very common. Cereal, there's a whole aisle devoted to cereal. And many people having bread and cereal for breakfast, by mid-morning they're wanting something else, so they reach for, and we're just going to say cakes, etc., because if we say everything, there's not enough room on the board for it. When you go into muffins and croissants and donuts and pasties and pies and pastries, etc., etc., etc. So we're just going to put etc. Also, pasta. I'm a fifth generation Australian Scottish descent. I didn't know what pasta and pizza was till I was about 18. So what did I grow up with? Sausages or chops, mashed potatoes, frozen peas or beans every single night of the week, except for Sunday when Mum would do a roast lamb. And everyone I knew ate like that. Our relatives ate like that, the neighbours ate like that. As a fifth generation Australian, I grew up in a little Presbyterian church. Everyone in the church ate like that. I came to the conclusion as a child that everyone in the whole world ate like that, but it's not quite true, is it? And when I was about 16, I had a boyfriend who was about 19, and he had a friend who was a vegetarian. I'd never heard of such a thing. Had never even heard of brown bread. So this was real traditional Australian. Rice, I'd never had rice. I don't think I went to a Chinese restaurant till I was about 18, and that's the first time I ate rice. Potatoes, well, we ate potatoes every meal. And last and certainly least in nutritive value is the pure crystallized acid extracted from the...
Here's something to think about. When we eat all these carbs, our body breaks them down into glucose, which is sugar. Glucose enters our bloodstream, causing our blood sugar levels to rise. This triggers our pancreas to release insulin, a hormone that helps our cells absorb glucose. First, glucose is sent to our cells to be used as energy. This is where things get interesting. The glucose goes through a process called glycolysis, where it's broken down into a chemical called pyruvate. This happens in a 10-step process that creates a small amount of energy. But that's just the beginning. If there's oxygen available, pyruvate enters the mitochondria, often called the powerhouse of the cell, and goes through more chemical reactions that produce a lot more energy and is called the aerobic pathway. So, when we eat carbohydrates, they're not just giving us a quick sugar rush, but fueling our energy cycles. Moreover, any extra glucose gets stored in our muscles as glycogen, especially if you have diabetes or need a quick energy boost later.
I'm very familiar with the inside workings of the cell now. Yes? And that 20-step pathway gives us 2 units of energy. Isn't that why we eat? To get glucose, to run our energy cycles. The end result of the 20-step pathway is a chemical form of glucose called pyruvate. And pyruvate, as the chemical form of glucose, gets fed into what's called the powerhouse, because these 8 little chemical reactions, this 8-step pathway, delivers impressive 36 units of energy. And the reason why the 8-step pathway gives 36 units of energy is the presence of oxygen. So this is called the aerobic pathway.
In simple terms, our bodies are designed to turn carbs into energy, but too much of a good thing can cause problems like weight gain and even conditions like obesity and diabetes. Likewise, when our bodies don't have oxygen, they use a different way to make energy called fermentation. This process starts like regular energy production with glycolysis, where glucose is broken down into pyruvate. But instead of moving on to create more energy, the pyruvate stops short. Because without oxygen, the usual energy pathways can't work.
This pathway is called the anaerobic pathway because it does not use oxygen. It produces energy by the process of fermentation. So when we eat the carbohydrates, they're broken down to glucose. The first place the glucose is sent is to the cell. The second place it is.
So, what happens next? The body uses a quick way. NADH drops off its electrons to pyruvate, turning back into NAD+, allowing glycolysis to keep going and giving us some energy. This is why morning exercise is so effective. Glycogen is a form of stored glucose found in the liver and muscles. While you sleep, your body uses glycogen to steady your blood sugar levels. By morning, your glycogen levels are usually good to go. When you exercise in the morning, your body uses these stored glycogen reserves for energy. So, even after not eating overnight, your muscles have enough energy for a workout. Furthermore, fats are essential for a balanced diet because they help keep you full and support your body in many ways. They give you energy, protect your organs, and help you stay warm. Plus, fats assist in absorbing nutrients, making you feel satisfied, reducing your hunger pangs, and making important hormones. So, the best healthy diet involves fats.
Carbohydrate diet, and this is what a lot of people don't realise, especially when people go on a weight loss diet and stop all the fat, fat-free this, fat-free that, fat-free, 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 and yet what are they eating? Lots of carbohydrates. Do you know fat gives the feeling of satiation or satisfaction? And the best weight loss diet is a diet that stops your hunger.
But here's a myth. People on a high-carb diet often cut out fats and eat many sugary, starchy foods. This excess glucose can fill up your energy reserves and get stored as fat in your belly, hips, and thighs. Once those fat stores are full, it starts affecting your internal organs.
High carbohydrate diet, people have eliminated the fat and they're eating lots and lots and lots of this, not realizing that that excess glucose, once we've filled up the energy cycle, we've filled up the glycogen stores, and so now the body sends it to the fat cells.
You might have heard that fat has more calories per gram compared to glucose, 9 calories for fat versus 4 for glucose. So it's true that fat is more calorie dense, but that doesn't mean you should avoid it entirely. The key is balance. You'll still gain weight when you eat more calories than you burn, whether from fat or carbs. Therefore, involving healthy fats into your diet, like those from plant oils and lean meats, while balancing your overall calorie intake is essential for effective weight management.
Glucose burns at 4 calories per gram, whereas fat, it burns at 9 calories per gram. Now this piece of information, which is fact, is in just about every weight loss book as proof that if you want to lose weight, don't eat the fat. It's going to give you more than twice the calories. But what the people don't understand is what a calorie is. A calorie is a unit of energy. And if you want a high energy food, what do you eat? Fat. It's going to give you more than twice the units of energy compared to glucose. But if you're eating more calories than you can burn, yes.
She added that a recent study has backed up what I've long suspected. Eating larger meals earlier in the day rather than at night can lead to better weight loss and overall health. This study, also published in Diabetologia, showed that people with type 2 diabetes who had a big breakfast and lunch but skipped dinner lost more body fat and improved insulin sensitivity compared to those who ate smaller, more frequent meals throughout the day. Eating a big breakfast, a moderate lunch, and a lighter dinner helps align with our body's natural rhythms. Many of us, however, end our day with a large meal, which disrupts these rhythms and can lead to weight gain. Skipping meals or eating at odd times confuses our metabolism, making it harder for our bodies to process energy efficiently.
To eat breakfast like a king, I have to admit that I think I eat lunch like a king and breakfast like a queen, but whatever. And sometimes the queen eats as much as the king. Lunch like a queen, and then tea like a pauper, or you call it supper, yeah? I think that when I say tea, you probably think I mean a cup of tea, yeah?
Interestingly, our body's ability to handle carbohydrates is less effective in the evening, possibly due to lower insulin sensitivity at night. This is particularly problematic for night shift workers who eat when their bodies are supposed to be resting. This misalignment between our sleep-wake cycles and eating times can lead to higher blood sugar and fat levels, increasing the risk of conditions like diabetes and heart disease. Moreover, shifting dietary patterns to include more plant proteins and less meat can benefit our health and the environment. Plant proteins, like those from legumes and vegetables, provide essential nutrients without the cholesterol and saturated fat found in animal proteins. They are also cleaner-burning fuels, producing less acid waste in the body, which is linked to a lower risk of diseases such as heart disease and type 2 diabetes.
The beauty of the plant proteins, it's much cleaner burning fuel. It doesn't leave an acid waste like the protein does. And when I was consulting with this man, he said to me, I believe if
Plant proteins offer more fiber, which helps keep our digestive system in check and supports overall health. Using plant protein powders can be a practical solution for those who find it challenging to get enough plant-based protein. In contrast, animal proteins produce a lot of acid waste, which adds to the burden on your body and creates an environment where cancer cells might thrive. So, incorporating more plant-based proteins could be smart for your health and the planet.
Animal protein, it burns at, so let's look at protein. Animal protein, only 58% is burnt as fuel. So that's a 42% waste. That's the acid waste. And that's what Dr. Colin Campbell found in his book, The China Study. He could switch cancer cells on and off, and we looked at this briefly when we looked at cancer on the first night, because it's an acid waste, and cancer thrives in an acid environment. We looked at that. Whereas plant protein, it's a lot cleaner burning fuel. It doesn't have that acid waste. So with plant protein, you're getting up to about 80% easy is burnt as fuel. That's a big difference.
Regarding healthy eating, Dr. O'Neill stated that there are 3 vital food groups that everyone should pay attention to: fiber, protein, and fat. Each plays a significant role in maintaining our well-being. Fiber is like a cleaning agent for your colon, helping to sweep out waste and keep things running smoothly. Protein is the building block of life, and our DNA is composed of amino acids. These amino acids, derived from the protein we eat, help build new cells and repair tissues. Additionally, protein makes up about half of the membrane around every cell in our body, making it fundamental.
He found that these 3 food groups are the essential food groups. Fibre is essential because the colon needs to be swept. We looked at that when we looked at the colon, when we looked at the waste disposal organs. Protein is essential because the crossword bands, remember we looked at the DNA on the first night, it's made up of amino acids. Amino acids is a breakdown from the protein we eat, and it's amino acids that builds the new cells in the body. And 50% of the membrane around every cell in the body is protein.
Then there's fat, a topic often misunderstood. Many believe a fat-free diet is the best option, but that's a dangerous misconception. Not all fats are created equal. Some fats are harmful, while others are beneficial. For centuries, people used coconut oil and olive oil, which are extracted from plants. However, modern processing methods have introduced harmful fats. High heat and chemicals used to extract oils from hard seeds can destroy the beneficial properties of these fats. Oils like sunflower and peanut oil, often processed this way, can damage your arteries and lead to health issues. Saturated fats, on the other hand, are heat and light resistant, making them a safer choice for cooking. These fats are essential because they support the health of our brain and nerve cells. For example, the myelin sheath surrounding our nerve cells is largely composed of fat, and a lack of fat can lead to serious conditions like Parkinson's disease, multiple sclerosis, dementia, and Alzheimer's.
Fat is essential. The fat-free diet is a dangerous diet. There are fats that'll kill and there are fats that'll heal. And because there are some killer fats, they've all been dumped in the same basket. What are the killer fats? The altered fats. You see, for centuries, people used the coconut oil and the olive oil. They can be extracted from the flesh of the plant. But those hard seeds, they couldn't really get the oils out until they developed high heat chemical equipment to extract oil from hard seeds. And because they use chemicals and heat, they destroy the oils immediately. So there's clear plastic bottles that have got sunflower oil, peanut oil, soy oil. Don't touch them. They're the oils that can help to damage the arterial wall. They're the dangerous oils. And your deep fried foods. If you do fry any food, it should be always in a saturated fat, because saturated fat is heat resistant and light resistant.
So while it's important to be cautious about the type of fat we consume, we still need some fat in our diet. The problem arises when we consume excessive amounts of damaged fats from fried foods, such as fish and chips, which can amount to half a cup or more of unhealthy fat. In addition, drinking more water and adding whole salt to your diet are great first steps for better health. Salt helps keep your body's fluids balanced with its essential minerals. The exciting part is that high-intensity interval training, HIIT, can boost your fitness. HIIT involves doing short, intense bursts of exercise followed by rest or lower-intensity periods. This approach burns more calories than regular exercise and energizes your metabolism even after you're done working out. Moreover, HIIT makes your cells work more efficiently, improves insulin sensitivity, and helps build muscle while burning fat. Plus, it saves time since you don't need to work out as long. Not to mention, after your HIIT workout, your body continues to burn calories for about 2 hours. If you're looking for big improvements in your health, trying HIIT could make a huge difference.
He was having 8 to 10 glasses of water a day. And when you start drinking more water, it's also time to start having some whole salt. But it's the fourth point that I think made a dramatic effect. It all has an effect. And that was the high-intensity interval training. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you inside the cell.
Don't worry, you don't always need to run during high-intensity interval training, HIIT. Walking quickly on steep tracks can be just as effective. Research often focuses on using exercise bikes, which are great for people with hip, knee, or ankle issues because they avoid putting weight on those joints. You can mix HIIT with activities like swimming laps and doing push-ups or pull-ups. Finally, recovery time between intense bursts of exercise can vary. It doesn't need to be a set of 90 seconds. It should be long enough to feel ready to go again. A longer recovery time usually indicates you're less fit, but don't panic. This improves over time as you get stronger. As you become fitter, your recovery time will shorten.
It was a track you could walk. So Sometimes you don't even need to run. All I need to do was walk and walk fast up these really steep bits. Most of the research has been done on an exercise bike where the person, if they're unstable on their feet, they're holding on. It's very good if they've got hip or knee or ankle problems, then the weight is not on those areas. And you can cycle as fast as possible, and then your recovery time can just be slow cycle. It could be swimming, doing laps of the pools. It could be push-ups. I mentioned when my boys visited last April at Easter holidays, they were doing 1,000 push-ups a day. They do it 20 at a time, 20 at a time. So they were certainly doing that interval all through the day. And they got out on my back veranda and were doing the pull-ups. The recovery time is really just till you feel it's time to run again or it's time to go fast again. It doesn't have to be 90 seconds, but that's what you're aiming for. Your recovery time is an indication of your fitness. The longer you take to recover, it's usually an indicator that the more unfit you are. And if you take a long time to recover, don't worry about it. This is progressive. That's what Al Sear's book says, progressive acceleration of cardiopulmonary exertion, pace. So as you get stronger, as your body gets fitter, you'll be able to do less recovery time.
So being on a weight loss journey is about more than just losing pounds. It's about embracing lasting lifestyle changes. Whether aiming to drop a few pounds or undergo a major transformation, real success comes from tuning into your body's needs, making thoughtful food choices, and staying active regularly. Take the insights you've gained and fuse them into your everyday routine. Remember, even small adjustments can lead to considerable progress over time. So, which weight loss tip are you going to adopt? If you liked this video and still have some confusion about the fats group of the food, then you must have watched another video on our channel, The Truth About Fats, Food Industry Lies Exposed. Barbara O'Neill, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.